If somebody is coming from a certain country and they're 100% fine, which I hope most of them are, but many of them won't be, you're going to see some very radical people. They're taking people from areas of the world that are very radicalized, and we don't want them making trouble in our country. Because how could it be great? How could it be great when you have Harvard announced 2 weeks ago that they are going to teach remedial mathematics, remedial, meaning they're going to teach low-grade mathematics, like 2 + 2 is 4. How did these people get into Harvard if they can't do basic mathematics?
You ever wonder how the elites keep getting richer while regular folks get crumbs? Well, Trump just blew the lid off Harvard's dirty little secret.
When could the administration resume the interviews for foreign students' visa? When do you think your administration could resume these interviews?
On what?
For the foreign student visa. Yesterday there was...
for the French visa?
For the French too, but all the foreign students.
Oh, for the foreign visas? What are you referring? Foreign visas for what? Are you talking about for colleges? Okay, so you're off of Israel. Now you're talking about colleges, right?
Yes, now.
Okay. Well, we're going to see. Look, Harvard has been a disaster. They've taken $5 billion plus. $5 billion. Nobody knew that they were making this kind. If we didn't do this, we would have never found this out, Pam.
Harvard, the so-called smartest school in the world, took $5 billion, and nobody even knew. That's your money, my money, taxpayer money, and these snobs are hoarding it. Trump's right. Send that cash to trade schools where real Americans learn to work with their hands. And has shifted anti-Semitism on campus.
They're taking $5 billion. And I'd rather see that money go to trade schools. And by the way, they're totally anti-Semitic at Harvard, as you know, and some other colleges too, in all fairness to them. And it's been exposed, very exposed. And
you want to know how deep the rot goes in these elite colleges? Trump's calling it out, plain and simple. Harvard's gone full anti-Semitic, and he's not wrong. These colleges are so woke, they're blind to hate when it fits their narrative. It's sick. Time to cut their funding until they clean house.
I think they're dealing very badly. Every time they fight, they lose another $250 million. Yesterday, we found another $100 million. And they have, they have a fund, an endowment, $52 billion. All right? They get a lot of that from the United States. And I think it's ridiculous. I think everyone's coming up to me saying, we love the idea of trade schools with that kind of money and money from others, but money from them. You can have the best trade schools anywhere in the world. You give them to Iowa, Indiana, lots of good states, well-run states, and you give them the money. They can only be used for trade schools, and they'll teach people how to build motors and cars and AI. The AI, we're building plants. We're building hundreds of billions of dollars worth of AI plants. Already started, many of them.
$52 billion in endowment. That's right, billion with a B. And they still take government money? Are you kidding me? Trump's right. Redirect that money to states like Iowa or Indiana. Let hardworking Americans benefit, not spoiled Ivy Leaguers.
We've never had a boom like we're having now. You're going to see it. There's never been anything like it. So we're up to about $14 trillion in investments. There's never been anything even close. You look at Biden, this guy, they had people leaving as opposed to investing. And they're doing it because of November 5th, and they're doing it because of the tariffs. The tariffs have been tremendous. I can promise you, and I have great respect for the people at the European Union, they wouldn't be over here today negotiating if I didn't put a 50% tariff on. The sad thing is now when I make a deal with them, it's something much more reasonable. They'll say, oh, he was chicken. That's so unbelievable.
Forget gender studies and social justice nonsense. We need real skills in this country. Trump nailed it. Use that Harvard cash to build air plants, car factories, motors, real stuff. Trade schools actually build the economy. Unlike Harvard, which builds entitled brats who hate the country. Remember when America made things? Well, it's coming back, and Trump's showing why. Because of tough tariffs and strong leadership, investments are pouring in. $14 trillion. While Biden scares business away, Trump brings it back. Harvard types don't get it, but working people sure do.
I usually have the opposite problem. They say you're too tough.
Mr. President, on Harvard, there were some Jewish students protesting on campus yesterday. They said they don't want you making these huge cuts, cutting off student visas to Harvard in their name, because they feel
Harvard
like it
has
makes
to
them
show
more
us.
of a target.
Okay, Harvard has to show us their lists. They have foreign students. About 31% of their students are foreign-based, almost 31%. We want to know where those students come. Are they troublemakers? What countries do they come? And we're not going to, if somebody is coming from a certain country and they're 100% fine, which I hope most of them are, but many of them won't be, you're going to see some very radical people. They're taking people from areas of the world that are very radicalized, and we don't want them making trouble in our country.
Some students at Harvard are mad that Trump is cracking down. Boo-hoo. Here's what he said that shut them up. Trump said it. Show us the list. Over 30% of Harvard students are foreign. Who are they? Where are they from? If they're good people, great. But if they're radicals, they shouldn't be here. Trump's protecting us, not catering to spoiled elites.
So I saw yesterday that in the middle of the UK, there was a nice young man. He wants to go back to school at Harvard, and he looked good to me, but I want to check his past. But we want to be able to see why, these countries aren't helping us. They're not investing in Harvard and all of we are. So why would 31%, why would a number so big? I think, number one, I think they should have a cap of maybe around 15%, not 31%. We have people who want to go to Harvard and other schools. They can't get in because we have foreign students there. But I want to make sure that the foreign students are people that can love our country.
Here's the part that made liberals cry. But Trump is absolutely right. He wants to cap foreign students at 15 cent, hard cent. Thank God. We've got brilliant Americans who can't get into these schools because elites would rather bring in outsiders. Let's take care of our own first. Period.
We don't want to see shopping centers exploding. We don't want to see the kind of riots that you had. And I'll tell you what, many of those students didn't go anywhere. Many of those students were troublemakers caused by the radical left lunatics in this country.
You think riots just happen? Trump's exposing the truth the media won't touch. Radical students, many from overseas, are stirring chaos. Trump isn't banning everyone, just the dangerous ones. He's keeping the country safe. Harvard can cry about it later. Trump didn't hold back. He told Harvard exactly what they are, and he's 100% right. Harvard is disrespecting America. They're not special. They're selfish. Trump's giving them a warning. Start acting like an American institution or get ready to lose those privileges. Remedial math at Harvard.
Because how could it be great? How could it be great when you have Harvard announced 2 weeks ago that they're going to teach remedial mathematics? Remedial, meaning they're going to teach low-grade mathematics, like 2 + 2 is 4. How did these people get into Harvard if they can't do basic mathematics? How did they do it? I mean, people with 1,600 on their boards don't get in, and they're letting people in, and they're bragging about how they're teaching them basic mathematics. Where did these people come from? So we have to look at the list, and Harvard has to understand the last thing I want to do is hurt them. They're hurting themselves. They're fighting. Columbia has been they were very, very bad what they've done. They're very anti-Semitic and lots of other things. But they're working with us on finding a solution. And, they're taking off that hot seat. But Harvard wants to fight. They want to show how smart they are, and they're getting their ass kicked.
This one's insane. Trump roasted Harvard harder than ever, and it's hilarious and true. They're teaching 2 + 2 + 4 at Harvard now. You heard that right. Remedial math at the most elite school in the country. How do these people get in? Oh yeah, woke admissions, not merit. Trump's right. Harvard's falling apart. They brought this on themselves.